Every large organisation, company, government department, whatever it may be, you've got an established status quo. Everyone's got their turf, everyone's got their roles, everyone's engineered for the way the world used to work. And it's very hard to change that, and it's extremely confronting to change that. So the person who comes running and says, guess what, the world now looks like this, actually we're probably not all doing the right jobs anymore, that's a pretty confronting thing for people to hear, right? So the large companies, and I've worked with many large organisations who've gone through the same thing as I did, they're typically the ones who actually find it very, very hard to get started. It's usually the challenger brands that can embrace this sort of thinking much more quickly, because you don't have the legacy, you don't have the politics, if you like, you don't have the internal boat to turn around with, and you don't have the organism itself trying to reject that new thinking. What large organisations who ultimately get it, and this sort of thinking can come up from anywhere in the organisation. It can be a smart young person who doesn't really have any internal clout at all, but thinks this is stupid, the world now works like this, why aren't we doing it this way? It could be the CMO who's come in from outside, or the head of comms or whatever it may be, who has a different vision or has been brought in to act as that change agent, but they're still fighting this huge problem. It ultimately is a change management model, right? And the old adage that my wife quotes a lot is that nothing changes until the pain of change becomes too great. The pain of not changing becomes too great. So you've got to create some internal crisis or some pilot, perhaps, that will make this a palatable decision for the organisation. So rather than saying we're going to change everything now because the world should now look totally different, we're going to do this, it's more like, well, here's a piece of the organisation, here's a product, here's a business line, here's a new anniversary of something that we need to celebrate somehow, here's something that we would normally treat as a campaign. How can we take this one thing and go outside the normal layers of internal bureaucracy and meetings and meetings and meetings that everyone wants to have a piece of and influence, and say, you know what, this one thing we're going to do a bit differently. This thing we're going to treat in a different way. It's not going to go through the normal sign-offs. It's not going to go through the normal PR. It's not going to go through the normal channels. We're going to manage this like a commitment, not like a campaign. And it's by doing that, that is ultimately where 90% of large organisations start to move. It's like, okay, let's get a proof point within the organisation. Let's get some of our smart people who believe in the model onto it. Let's get some senior level internal buy-in from the business. And let's start to prove this point 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, whatever time down the track, and then start to bring in other people from the organisation who can then take it back into theirs and start roll out. Okay, now we're going to expand the pilot. But that sort of pilot terminology is something you should definitely embrace. It's a highly threatening model, because if you do this, if you really run down this path for 2 or 3 years, your organisation will look very different to what it looks like now, because you realise just how ridiculous a lot of the things you're currently doing are. And it's smart people just not doing the right things anymore.